Hey guys, how's it going? Basic C++ programming. Gonna try and keep this interesting and fast. You do need to go and get a compiler. I'm using dev C++. It's the freest one out there, so go and get your ass that one. Jumping right into it. Okay, number sign include. Basically, think of your compiler as space. Okay, you have unlimited things that can happen. You can have infinite stuff. So you basically have to categorize everything. Okay, now that's represented by this. Okay, it's IO stream. Okay, it's the basic, let's say, filing cabinet that you can have. Okay, it's the input and output filing cabinet. It's basically you're inputting data into the system and it's outputting data for you. Okay, so we're just going to use that one today. Then move over to using namespaces. Basically what this is it's the folders inside of the filing cabinet. Okay, today we're just going to use the folder std. With that being said, you can have multiple namespaces and you can have multiple includes. It doesn't really matter. It's just today we're just using the basics, so today we'll just leave those two. Okay, that leads us to int main. Okay, these are the piece of papers inside of the folders. Okay, this is just basically it's stating that by default you should have saw int inside of that inside of those brackets. That's basically just stating that we're going to be using integers with this program. We're going to be using characters in this program, but the thing is this isn't a memory intense program that we're going to be making. So the thing is we can leave it blank right there. It doesn't really matter. Okay, moving on to the semicolons. Basically, what a semicolon does is it basically ends the operation. It tells the compiler, okay, you need to end this operation, you need to compute it, and then you need to move on to the next one. Humans read stuff with spaces and tabs, but computers can't do that. They can't read white lines, so we need to tell it to end. Okay, so let's move straight into cout. Cout. Basically what cout is it's the input and output. Okay, that's represented. It's basically saying that we need the reader or the user to have an output. They need to read something on the screen. Okay, so we need to do the quotes. Oh shoot! Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to actually tell the compiler what we're using. Okay. Today I'll tell you right now. Okay, so basically, as I was talking about integers before, we need to specify what we're going to be using today. Okay, that's why we need to do int beer. Okay, that's integer beer, integer day, integer total. Okay, it's represented by a comma. Your next one is represented by a comma. The compiler reads the comma as, okay, this is the next item. This is the next item. Basically what it needs to do is it needs to categorize whatever input the user uses. It needs to categorize that input with this specific word. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute. And just so you know, this is case sensitive, so this beer is completely different from this beer, so watch out for that. Okay, so moving into cout. Okay, as I was talking about input and output, we need the reader to understand what they're putting a number for, right? So we need to do how many beers do you drink a day? Okay, maybe we can all relate to that, maybe we can't. Okay, you do need to end that with a end quote. You need to start that with an end quote. If you don't do that, the computer won't recognize that as a display, and it just won't display it. Okay, so with that being outputted onto the screen, we need the user to input something. Okay, and that's represented by cin. Okay, as you can guess, we need to know how many beers they drink a day. So we need this to be how many beers they drink a day. So we just put beer. That's it. It's pretty easy. It's just categorizing how many beers they drink a day into this integer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So cout, how many days do you drink a week? Okay. Basically the exact same. We have the output, so we just need the user to input something now, and that is represented by days. Remember your semicolon. I forgot my semicolon right there. Okay. So basically, the computer has two integers. It has the beer. Let's say I drink 5 beers a day. Okay, so this is equal to 5, and if I drink for 3 days a week, this would be equal to 3. Okay, it's just basically storing 5 and 3 as a worded value. Okay, so now we need to do the math. So we need to take total equals beer times day. Basically, why I have to do total equals beer times day is just because total has no value right now. It wasn't stated here. It wasn't stated here. It just has no value. So we need to make the operation understand that total is a value before we actually say beer times day equals total. Okay. So you always need to put your first integer that you're stating first. Okay. So now that we have the math, this isn't going to show up because we didn't do C out. Okay, it's not going to show up. This is going to be behind the scenes. If we wanted it to show up, we would just put C out, okay, and then blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. But we don't need to do that. This is something that the user doesn't have to see. So it's we don't need to put any C out or C in or anything like that. But we do want the user to see their total. Okay, so we do need to put C out. Okay, so let's put you drink. Okay, so end your quotes there. The reason why is because you need to do the lesser sign then first. Total. So what it's doing is it's basically saying 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so this is equal to 15. So this is equal to 15. It's bringing this total down to this total. Okay, it's basically just saying, it's stating that this is total, and it's all total. Okay, that's all it is. And then let's go back to that. Beers a week. Okay. So basically, the best way to remember the lesser than sign and greater than sign is basically your question that you have is being funneled through the signs to your output, and the question that you want is being funneled into the person's input. Okay, so what this is gonna do is it's gonna say you drink blah blah blah, which is your total, so 15. If I drink 3 beers a day for 5 beers a day for 3 days a week, beers a week. Okay, that's basically it. Just end with a semicolon. This is your first program. All we need to do is compile it. Okay, just click on that. It's going to go wherever you saved your file. So if you go wherever you saved your file, it's going to go to that. Click on your application file. Okay, this is the thing that pops up. Let's go with I drink 99 beers a day. Okay, and how many days? Maximum I can have is 7. Okay. You drink 693 beers a week. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But other than that, I'll upload some more videos. Just yeah, I'm tired. Good night, guys.